Hi, everybody. Welcome to Sign the Traitors. We are here with the penultimate episode of our podcast to talk about the penultimate episode of this season. And we are joined by special guest, Chanelle. I'm your host, Katie. I'm here with Isaiah and Javier. And Chanelle's here with us, our first guest of the season, probably first and only. It's great to see you.
First and only.
I think so,
I'm honored.
We're honored. How are you?
Good. It's good to be back. Good to see you all. Yeah.
Great to have you. Isaiah, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm ready for the season to end next week, but I'm here, and I like spending time with y'all. So it's all good.
Same. That's the one thing I'll miss about this season. Javier, how are you?
I am good. Here dealing with the Northeast snow, but life is good. Ready to chat with y'all. Excited to have Chanelle here because have not podcasted with Chanelle in literal years.
Yeah, wild.
TBT to House of Dragons. If anyone watched our season one podcast of that, but yeah, I'm ready to get into it, and I'm also ready for the finale.
Yes, we're almost there. Next week we have the finale. This week's episode was I don't know, frustrating. Is it fair to say frustrating? This season as a whole has been frustrating, but Chanelle, since you're with us for the first time this season, what are your thoughts so far on the gameplay as a whole, this cast? What are you feeling about season 4 of the Traitors US?
I was like excited about the season just because I liked the mix of like the game players and whatever else. I was like, okay, but maybe there's going to be no nonsense this time because, they put the game players in as traitors. It gets all messy. This time we didn't have any game players. I'm like, maybe it's going to be really good. Maybe there'll be some, now that the game players are on the other side and they're not the traitors, we'll actually get some action, except it's all wrong. It's all going wrong. It's a train wreck. It's an absolute train wreck. I'm so annoyed.
Yes. I think all agree. I think I love a train wreck if it's a fun train wreck. And at the beginning of the season, Isaiah and I both were like, no gamers in the turret. We need no gamers. We said it pre-season at the draft podcast. And you know what, Isaiah, maybe we were just wrong.
I mean, we were being entertained by the mess and the fighting and stuff, so I was okay with it, but like quickly a lot of the entertainment kind of like went out the door, even like the non-gamers who were really like entertaining in the TV show portion of it, like that we just lost a lot of fun characters pretty early on, and it's just kind of like a waiting game just to see the eventual ending where I think we're all expecting Rob to win, you know what I'm saying? But like it's never fun where you can kind of like sniff out who's going to win this early in like any of these shows, and then you're just kind of sitting here waiting for it. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's like a season of Big Brother 22, where like basically as of week 1, Cody was in the driver's seat and was going to win that game, and then we just had to watch like I don't remember how many days that season was, but too long. Never any adversity that he had to deal with, and that's kind of what we're seeing with Rob too, which is wild. And you know what? This episode, I thought maybe something was going to happen, and alas. They took the worst way out as usual, as always. The flopping was flopping extra this week. Yeah, I don't know. Should we just get into it? Any thoughts to kick it off? I prefaced before we went live, I didn't take notes. I'm done with notes for the season. And I said to everybody before we went live that the faithfuls and the gamers, the people on the show are not trying. And I'm done trying. But we're going to talk about it. Yeah. We're going to let our frustrations out. We're going to air our grievances. But we'll just go with the flow. So were you guys surprised that they ended up murdering Kristen?
I actually was. I didn't expect it because usually with Rob's like I guess pattern with eliminating, it didn't really feel like that was the direction he was going to go. I was actually expecting Natalie, but I mean ultimately I think that was the right kill. I think we were saying this last week that like there's only a few people putting in any kind of effort to figure out who the real traitor is, and I think Kristen definitely was, even if she was wrong, like she was trying something, and I mean it's unfortunate, but I mean that was the right kill. Like I can't get mad at Rob or Eric for doing what we said they should have did last week. Like I'd be a hypocrite. They did the right kill. It was just kind of unfortunate.
I could get mad at Eric.
Yeah. I agree. I think that I wasn't surprised. I think we were talking about this last week. I feel like it is the Rob show and Rob was going to get his way. And I think the best kill for Rob was to go for Kristen so then he can frame Eric in the next episode or two, which is probably what's going to happen in the finale with the Rob win. So I wasn't that surprised. I think it was the best move for Rob. And clearly he came out scot-free in another episode.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Natalie move would have been not the greatest because you want to keep people who kind of have heat, right? So like Natalie has a lot of heat. Johnny's like getting a little bit of smoke, not heat, but like a little bit going towards Johnny's way. So it just seemed like the safest kill, even though I feel like with Kristen, she like is also lost. So it was like another lost, thrown away vote. Like I think the biggest thing about this season that's annoying me is the backbone is not there.
Yes.
And the only backbone is Natalie. And it's just like, you know, because she's a gamer. So it's just like, you know, there's so many little gamers left that we need just to like actually just go after things. It's just like, it's like I'm excited because I think next season's gonna not be a celebrity one because we need that, like the UK where people are just like not afraid to like, you know, just, oh, that's my friend, that's a fellow housewife, oh, we can't go after a fellow gamer, I don't care what you are, just like go after people. So it's just like I'm so tired of like the non-backbone behind things all the time, you know. So that's my gripe.
I totally agree. We've talked about this a couple of times too, of just like I think the boot order really set us up for failure this season. So really I think we could probably blame mostly Donna Kelsey for the short list. So I think in the long run for the Traitors, she probably made a good decision with the boot lists and the short lists that she put together. But for our entertainment, it was probably the worst thing that could have happened because you need at least one person that is gonna try and put the pieces together. And we got like a couple of pieces coming together this episode, but then like I don't know how this all fell apart and what the hell happened, but obviously it went nowhere. And I think Rob's game this week even started to fall apart a little bit, but like because we don't have anybody other than Natalie who's willing to like put it out there, and she's also kind of second guessing herself a little bit because she's been wrong a few times and she probably doesn't have anyone strategic to talk about with these things with. It's just like, I don't know, the groupthink and like not having somebody to like rally people in a direction has really hurt us this season.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with the Traitors, right? Like they're like so down because they're wrong and whatever, but it's like you have to, with Traitors, you can't be like that because the percentage of someone being a traitor is so low that you just have to keep going at it. But you also need to think outside the box of things, you know, it's not always black and white. And that's an annoying thing with me watching Traitors in general is just like people think it's just a black and white thing, but it's like it's not always that, but sometimes it is. Yeah, which I think we'll see obviously in this episode, but it's just like things like that. It's just putting it all together.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think a lot of blame. I mean, you said Donna Kelsey. I blame a lot of people like Natalie, which I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of her previous gameplay in the early portions of the season kind of like benefited to this huge group think. And it kind of really led to her demise. Like, oh, if anyone grabs a shield, like we're gonna vote you out during a round table. Oh, no one should be going here or there or talking to this person. Like eventually, you know, it came full circle. I feel like this episode. So it's like I mean her. I'll say Colton. Who else is still even here? Mora, who I feel like I have stuff to say about her later. It's just like
I have plenty to say.
a lot of these players.
Number one op, Mora. I can't stand that woman.
Yeah, but it's been like very like one
third
track
traitor.
Yes,
may as well be.
Genuinely.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Isaiah. I've been not a fan of Natalie's game, and I've been vocal about it. And I think people root for Natalie because people like to root for the gamers. And I like Natalie outside of the Traitors. It's not that I dislike Natalie, but I think the way she's played this game has not been her best showing by far. I think, she just has not done. She hasn't played a game I loved. And I think like that obvious selfish, faithful game that she plays it's not my favorite type of game to watch. So I don't think she did herself a ton of favors either with that type of gameplay, unfortunately for her. Yeah. Speaking of Mora, so Rob and Mora are the first two that come into breakfast. And Mora is basically like, saying she trusts Rob 100%. She has no questions about Rob. She would be shocked. She would like storm out of the castle if Rob was a traitor. Maybe she didn't say that to him necessarily, but like she was saying to him, I trust you 100%. And Rob was feeling like a little, at least in the confessional, you could tell in the breakfast he was off. He was like very quiet. And I mean, he's always kind of quiet, but he was like a different kind of quiet this episode. And then in the confessional, he was saying like it's starting to get to him because he likes all these people, but he's using them to get ahead in the game. I don't know how you could be in a game called the Traitors and know that there are traitors left. And Rob is one of the very few who has never had heat on them and then say, I trust you 100%. When like there's been literally nothing in the game that has cleared Rob as a faithful because he's not one. So I don't know. Any thoughts about how dumb Mora is? Javier, maybe I'll pass the mic to you. For this one.
Oh, Mora. This woman is just, I don't understand why she's so like misted by Rob. Like literally Rob cannot do anything. And this episode for a moment, Mora, I thought she was gonna have a moment of clarity. And then clearly it lasted 2 seconds maybe. And right away she was like, no, it could never be Rob. And it's like, I get that they're from Love Island, but you make a great point, Katie. Like you cannot play the game of Traitors and not have suspicion on literally every single person at every single moment. And you have to listen to any evidence, even if it's not great. Because in the Traitors, I feel like they play with crumbs. Some of the reasons they go after people make no sense. So like Mora needed to keep her mind open. And she is just really irks me. Like every time Mora speaks, I'm like, please just move the camera. Like I can't deal with Mora at all. And disappointment after disappointment with Mora.
100%. Isaiah, what are your thoughts on Mora?
I mean, I took it easier on Mora for like most of the season, but I will say, I mean, the way she's moving is the way the rest of the house have been moving for like a while now. It's just that she's like a little bit more loud about it and the focus is on her, so I think that's why I'm not too hard on her, but like, it is a little frustrating where there's like this blind loyalty. I mean, like we saw this with Kristen a couple of episodes ago, like, oh, that's sweet man, like it can never be like don't get it twisted. Like this is how everyone is thinking. Like we even saw this during a roundtable once, like some glimpse of a suspicion was thrown on Rob. Like these people, like even Natalie, don't think it's him just because it's him. You know what I'm saying? And it's tough, but Mora is a product of the house structure this season. Like she's just the worst case of it. I've seen even worse cases of it in other seasons of US Traitors, but yeah, she is completely blind. That's why I said a couple episodes ago we were like, why would he take out Dorinda? She's so loyal to her. I'm like, this whole house feels this way towards him. Like it really doesn't matter. Like he could have took out Mora that week and he will still have Dorinda. Like these people are that loyal to this guy, so it does not matter who he eliminates at this point. It's that bad.
Yeah, it's pretty rough stuff with Mora. I think where I get irritated with Mora is where I feel like she has so much to say to other people about the way that they play the game or like decisions that they make. And I'm like, ma'am, you are just the most wrong. Like your eyes are glazed over. You have heart eyes in your eyes for Rob instead of like looking through, like even at the end of the episode, she said something to Tara about, I know we're kind of jumping all over the place, but we're going on vibes, about like, well, why did you vote for her? You have to play it like it's a game. And I'm like, who are you? Who are you? Who are you to say that? It's frustrating. It's just frustrating. I think she, out of everyone this season, is the worst one for me in terms of gameplay or lack thereof, or just like blind loyalty and faith in Rob. Like never a question. Not only never a question, but she's blindly defending him to other people too, who are bringing up all of the very valid evidence, especially this episode that exists on Rob. And she's just like, no way. Nope. Couldn't be Rob.
I feel like if I was in this situation and I was still a faithful at this point of the game, I would try to look around and be like, there's a reason why I'm still here. Yes. Because the Traitors really don't think I'm going to figure them out. And then a couple of people did start doing that this episode, which was interesting. Like Mark, a little bit, Tara, Johnny, somewhat. I'm not going to give him too much credit, but like some people were looking in different directions and were like, maybe I'm wrong. Like I have to look in different directions and open other opportunities. You know what I'm saying? But like Mora does not care. You know what I'm saying? Like she is like, no, I know what I'm doing. I don't even know if she's actually watched the show before. So I mean, it goes back to our conversation.
So. No. I don't know.
No. So yeah.
I think that's the issue, right? With the again, a celebrity one is like a lot of them probably have never watched the show or very little of the show, and the experience they have of the show are probably probably the US one, which is like probably the, no offense, the lowest grade in terms of gameplay, because it's just absolute chaos. It's I think the issue with this is people are like, well, it's my ally, it's my ally. This is Traitors. Okay. You can have allies to a certain point. You're near the finale now, and also you're at the point where after this week you have no idea, after you vote someone out, if they're a traitor or not. So you have to be even more meticulous with your decisions, because this is your like last chance when you have your shot, right? So it's just like you need to think outside of your allies. They were talking about the Johnny and Tara thing, like, oh, I can't believe they're friends. And I'm like, okay, well, anyone who watches sports or whatever knows that they're friends. But other than that, like, well, not regular sports, figure skating, but like, anyways, it's silly. Like you can't have allies at the end here at this point, because you're on your own. You're on your own in Traitors. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, again, there's a percentage that your ally could be a traitor. You can't have those ties this late in the game. And then yeah, also she's just like really stubborn and doesn't really listen anyway. So it's just like, she's just like that loose cannon that they will never murder, because she's just like, she'll just go with the flow of Rob, really.
Yeah, I think the stubbornness is one of the reasons why she gets under my skin so bad, is because even when people are saying things at the round table, like in this episode, I don't want to get too deep into the round table yet, but there's a part obviously where like people are talking to or at Tara, and she just keeps like talking, and Tara tries to talk and she doesn't even let her say a word. And she's done it before with Dorinda. She does it before with all these other people. And she's like, oh, I'm not done. Let me finish. It's like, ma'am, you were talking over everybody the entire time, and you're just loud and you're wrong and you're stubborn and you're just not thinking. And I think even she at this point is like, I don't know why I'm still here, but like, I trust Rob 100%. And I'm like, hello, let's like flip the light switch on, please. Like, just think about it for a second. And Chanelle, you're totally right. Like, we were talking about that last week of just watch 2 seasons of the show, just 2, and you'll see all of the trends in the meta game of, okay, every traitor that's been voted out so far has been a woman. So likely you should vote a guy out. That's number 1. And 2, look at the way that Rob and Candace have gone at each other, and then look at every other season and see that that's very clearly traitor on traitor violence. And Rob went for 2 of the traitors and was right. And that's the only time he really speaks up at the round table. Let's like put all of the pieces together. And they're just not doing the research. And I think it's just like, they probably get paid a nice appearance check to be at the table and play this game, where I'm sure in the international seasons, they're not getting like as much of a stipend as the celebrities are. And they're not getting the social media clout and all the other stuff, like the big boosts in their careers that everybody else is getting from the show. So like, they don't need to play the game. They probably get more financial benefit from just being on the show than actually winning, which is frustrating and not that fun to watch sometimes.
The worst part that we even touched on is I don't like traitor snitches, where it's like the 2 people who've done that the most this season is Johnny and Mora, where it's like you're gonna go run to the person who, I mean, obviously, even if you don't know they're a traitor, they're sus on this person for being a traitor, and you're just ratting them out. I feel like, and the best faithful game that I've experienced in US Traitors has been CT's so far. And it's really taking in all the information, forming your own opinion, and voting the way you feel like you want to vote. You know what I'm saying? But when you're actively going to like protect someone, like Johnny going to Candace, oh, they're saying your name, you need to prepare to fight them or whatever. And then you got Mora, oh, they're saying your name, we got to all gather the votes so we get them out. Like, you're on the wrong show, bro, because like there's no facts to really back up you trying to protect these people or warning them that they're going to get called out. Let them defend themselves so you can get the data. It's a team game as much as an individualistic game. Like, you still want to get money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I also wouldn't mind people getting eliminated, because that means more money for me.
Yeah.
I don't think she's thinking about it, but that's why I think Chanelle said earlier, I'm ready for civilians, because like they actually need money. These people are all wealthy. They don't really care, and it's bothersome. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just so tired of the traitor snitches like Mora.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I feel like if you even look at last season, especially the come up of everybody on season 3 of Traitors US, Dylan Efron, Boston Rob has like a whole new career after the Traitors, which like you guys know, I was very vocal last season that I was not a Boston Rob fan, and now I like love Boston Rob after the trade. Like I am one of the people who I'm like, you know what? Now I like Boston Rob. I like that he's doing the podcast. I like that he's doing all these appearances, but like he's all over the place. Bob the drag queen he's there. Bob is on Broadway, on the Traitors podcast, on all these things, starting new podcasts all over the place. Like good for them. It's more financially. Lisa Rinna releasing her book right after the Traitors is done. Everybody hated her on the Housewives, myself included. I'm now a fan. Like they're winning me over too. I'm gonna buy her book. I'll probably read it. But like that is the benefit of going on the show. It's not to win the money. So like I don't expect these people to be like players, but there are people who have been on the show that at least like took the role. Like Candace, I think did a good job taking on the role and like actually playing the game. Did she make a lot of missteps? Yes. Rob is playing the game. Is he playing my favorite Traitor game? No, but I think he's playing the best game, obviously, this season. And I think like Phaedra did a great job in the show, like trying to actually play, but everybody else just kind of like sits and hangs out and waits for the show to be over so they can get their checks clear and their social media followers, which is a little bit of a bummer. Season after season, I'm excited along with you guys to see it switch up a little bit. Hopefully some fun people apply. Then we get to watch.
Yeah, I agree. I think like it seems like 90% of these celebrities like genuinely are not here to play the game and don't know a single thing about this game. And like it's you make a good point, Katie, but I feel like every season there's like 1 or 2 celebrities who are not gamers who like surprise us, like like the Phaedras, the Dylan Efrons. I was not a Dylan fan, but he did a good job. Who's trying to play the game. This season we had like, yes, Candace wasn't amazing at the game, but at least she was trying up until she felt slighted by Rob. So I do think that every season we got like 1 or 2 celebrities who's actually playing the game. But I think to touch upon Isaiah's point too, the traitor snitches, that is also a very awful archetype in the game, and I agree with you on that. The only way I would ever like that archetype, and I thought maybe Natalie would be that, was I'm still waiting 4 seasons for someone to be a traitor snitch, but like know that the traitor is in the turret. Every time someone even alludes to the fact that they think like I have a guardian angel, they then go after them. Like, why would you do that? I'm so excited. I hope that one season we get that like gameplay of like my traitor angel's up there. So I'm going to, instead of like flipping on them the episode I think about it, they then decide to go for them. It's just so annoying. That's the only way I want to see that gameplay work, would be in that one specific context, which we still haven't gotten yet.
I totally agree with you, Javier. I think this is why I was so frustrated with Johnny when he said that to Candace and then said it to us in the confessional a couple of weeks ago. The episode that Candace went was like, could Candace just be keeping me close because she knows she could trust me? Like, yes, but that's good for you. She's going to keep you around to the end. Like if you snitched her and then you tell us like, maybe they can't say it directly to the camera because then that would like take away from the game itself. But like in your mind, like Sandra was playing, she knew who the traitors were and she was trying to play like the traitor angel strategy. Natalie called it out at the roundtable this episode as well. Like play that way and keep them around. If you're going to snitch for that reason, great. Like that's great. But like, why are you snitching just to then vote that person out at the end? I'm getting zero indication that Mora has any clue that Rob is a traitor. So I think she's just blindly loyal.
Yeah, I agree. I always say if I ever played Traitors, right? Like I want to be a traitor. You can send me home. But I'm kidding. Like I'm going to play. But like, if I'm not a traitor, like I'm going to find out who the traitor is and tell absolutely nobody. Absolutely no. You are my best friend. We are going to stay till the end. And then I'm going to snitch you the hell out of the game and take your money. Okay. That is going to be my goal. I'm going to play under the radar, be like, oh my God, it could never be Rob. Anyways, I vote for Rob. Get him out of here.
Yeah, let me throw that little red bag in the fire and vote again. That's the time to do it. Not like 3 days before the last episode of the show.
I've known it's been you all along. Okay. Give me my money and go. Okay. Thank you.
And see, that's my thing. Usually, at least in outside of the show, when the season's like already filmed and it's airing, people go on podcasts or whatever and say, oh, I already knew who the traitor was. I was just being quiet because of strategy. We have not seen that this season at all. Like, I really think everybody just did not think it was Rob. Like, it's bad, bro. It's really bad.
I think the only person I truly believe that felt that way was Sandra. Like, maybe CT a little bit. I don't know if CT was like fully on.
Janelle claimed it.
Janelle did claim it, but like she was out midway. Like Sandra made it almost to the end. Like she almost got there. But okay, so after the breakfast, we get Tara. A light bulb goes off in Tara's mind, and she's talking to Natalie, and she's like, could it be Rob? And then she brings up all of the very valid, real evidence and all of the things that Rob has made missteps on throughout the game. And she's like, what about the rogue vote? What about this? What about this? Could Sandra be, Sandra's on my mind. Could Candace have been like leaving us breadcrumbs? Could all these things? He was really quiet at the breakfast this morning. And then Natalie's like, oh, yeah, like, wait, hold on. And Natalie, like, takes it and runs. Like, I feel like Tara was putting a theory out there. Maybe it wasn't 100% bought in, which we see later in the episode, but Natalie like took it, made it her own, gave it life, and then made the biggest misstep of the entire game in my mind and said, let's go talk to Mora. Why? Why would you go talk to Mora of all people? Talk to Johnny, talk to Mark. Those are the two people you need to be talking to. Never Mora. You should not even have brought Mora into the thought of voting out Rob. I don't know why her mind went there.
There's
And
no logic to
no
it. I'm
logic.
just like that. Yeah. Sorry for the silence. I'm just saying
No,
there's
it's
no logic to
fine.
it. I think I said this a lot last week, but this cast does not have a lot of logic. Like I was about to say no strategic backbone. There's something there for some of them, but like they just don't. I think it's almost like ignorance. Like they're refusing to kind of like look in different directions at this point. So I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with
I don't have
that.
an excuse.
No, I agree with that. I think Natalie's point of view, Natalie coming from like Survivor, right? A little bit of the challenge, is, well, we're all game players here. Maybe if I put a good argument, I know they're not game players, but maybe that was in her mind. Maybe if I present the argument in a way, that makes sense, I can flip her and then we can get this vote. Really, she didn't need her in this instance. And you're right, it was a misstep, because who do you think she's going to run to with this information? But I see where Natalie's point of view was, but you need to be a little bit more sneakier. And even in Survivor, you need to be sneakier about it too, because people are going to go snitch you out too. So yeah, I feel I want to give her the benefit of the doubt, but you should know better, girl.
Yeah. I feel like she put way too much stock into Mora this episode, because even in the challenge, she was doing stuff to try and like win Mora over. And I'm like, win Mark over. Mark is a free agent at this point, begging for someone to pull him in, and nothing.
Yeah, I think my disappointment with Natalie was the fact that she is the last gamer. So I would expect her to have a little bit more savvy coming from these shows, because I mean, you see that in Survivor, you see it in Big Brother. Like if you're going to target someone, you never go to their duo. Like Mora and Rob are a duo. You're not going to try to convince the duo. You're going to go behind the duo's back and then blindside them at the round table. Like that's what they do on Big Brother. That's what they do on. So it was even more disappointing to me seeing it from Natalie, who I would expect to have slightly more savvy in these type of games.
Totally. I totally agree. So on the way, of course, to the mission, we have everybody else in one car. I don't remember who else. Was it Eric and Rob and Mora in the car together? I don't remember who was in the car with Mora and Rob.
It was Rob, and I think it might have been Mark too.
Mark.
I don't think it was both of the
you're
traitors,
right.
Yeah.
And of course she spills, like you were saying, Isaiah. She snitched right to him, and he's like, what? Like, whatever. He knows he's fine. He has the dagger. He's good at this point. There's so few votes left. In the other car, they're trying to convince Johnny. It seems like Johnny could see it being Rob, which is also a little confusing, because him and Candace were talking about it being Rob when at that round table where he went so hard for Lisa and voted against her. Like, Johnny was already suspecting Rob. And it's like they go one episode, or like right after the roundtable, they say a name, and then that name gets no traction. And then in some cases they stay on it, but then other times they just like move right along. Like even this episode, they're like, oh, Eric, it's got to be Eric. I'm like, what about Rob though? Like there was evidence about Rob. Why don't you guys keep digging on that? Like keep thinking about the evidence that was out there when Natalie put it out. And Rob, again, was going so hard for Natalie. He's the one that was spreading the name. She was putting out Rob. Let's think about Rob. But you guys are going to think about Eric instead. I don't really understand, but
I blame Johnny. I'm just going to say it.
I know
like, Johnny
been after Johnny all
so
season.
Annoying this season, bro. Like I'm sorry. Like he talks all this game every single round. Like he has so much to say, like outside of the round table, and then when it's time to like shine, he just like doesn't say anything. And then like I know you want to wait till the round table stuff, but like
no, it's
like
fine.
even in this round table where Tara puts the spotlight on him, like, you want to back me up? He's like, oh, I didn't have any stance on anything. I didn't confirm or deconfirm or like I can't stand Johnny as a player, and like I'm sure he's a swell guy, like I've been very consistent about this. He is just annoying. Like I don't like people who try to like rally votes, oh, get out of my castle and all this stuff, and then it's time to shine. You don't do anything. You are like the secret traitor in this situation because you're stirring all this chaos, rallying votes, and then hoping people do all your work for you. Like, this is Big Brother. And it's like, you need to be loud and vocal. Like, I feel like if Johnny was more vocal in a lot of these rounds, even when he was very incorrect, he would have got his way. But since he's not talking, chaos ensues like today, or this episode, like, I blame Johnny for a lot of the nonsense that happens in this season. Even some people thought he was a traitor. I would have voted him out just because he's a bad faithful. Like, I just don't. He's one of the worst contributors in the season to the direction that it eventually went in. I blame Johnny. I've been saying that. I'm going to keep saying that. I'm tired of Johnny. I'm tired of him.
I'm tired of all of them. I think I don't think all the blame can go to Johnny, but I think it's like a pie. His piece of pie is a little bit bigger than some of the other people's pieces of the pie, but like they're all bad. They're all bad. I mean, like Eric was bad. He was a bad faithful and he's a bad traitor. I mean, like, we have to talk about Eric, but like there's not much to say because he's done nothing the whole episode, but like, I mean, come on. Yeah, I don't know. The whole season. The cast is rough. The cast in the boot order, it's just rough. And a lot of like, I keep seeing a lot of people being like, either people online or I think even in like the Boston Rob and Bob the Drag Queen podcast this week, they were saying that the faithfuls are doing a good job because they've gotten 3 of the traitors. And I'm like, no, they got 1. They got Donna, but it wasn't even really them. Like, it was Donna acting weird. It was Rob that got out Lisa and Candace. He used Colton to do it, but like he got out Candace. He got out Lisa by using.
He got out Lisa and Candace got herself out.
Candace got out, Candace
like,
for sure.
I mean, it's on both. I think the Colton move, I think, was a good one because he knew and he used that information and kept it to himself. Like, good for him for that. That I think that was a huge thing that he let her murder Colton. But like, these faithfuls didn't do anything. They did not do anything. What a mess. So we get to this mission, and I actually didn't hate this mission necessarily. I think it gave us some interesting game sort of should have given us good interesting game implications. But basically it's like musical chairs but spinning, and they have to like sit on this spinning thing and then run and go get something, go like find bags of money and then run back and then sit on the chair, and then but Alan doesn't tell them that when they run back, there's gonna be 1 less chair, which I kind of think is a little unfair that you don't tell them all the rules. Like, they should know what the rules are of the game before they go out, but like, who actually cares? And for some reason, Eric and Tara have medical issues where they can't spin, which I think is crazy that like a professional figure skater can't spin. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what medical issues.
I'm gonna go with concussed at some point.
You know what? That's actually probably true. Yeah. That's a good point. But I feel like they shouldn't have been allowed to even participate because it's not fair that they got to sit in a chair.
They knew what they were signing up for. I'm sure they gave them warnings before they. No,
I'm saying in the mission they should not have been allowed to be a part of the mission or be eligible for the shield because they got to sit in a seat not moving, and then Eric won the shield at the end of the game when everybody else was spinning and he was not, and that I don't think that's fair. That's like an unfair advantage.
I agree.
Or he should have had like a 30-second, like he should have had to stay seated while everybody else got a head start or something. Like, that was totally unfair.
First production blunder, I will say. Production has not been annoying me this season. I don't know why.
Except this show.
I have not been complaining until now. Like, yeah, like I'm usually like really hard on Pride. But that was the first one that they messed up on the season. So,
interesting.
I mean, has there been any other like hiccups? Like think about it. Really, the twists haven't been that bad.
Too many short lists. Too many non-normal straightforward murders. I don't really blame them necessarily though for like trying to switch it up because the game does get.
If we had a better cast, it might have been more interesting.
Yeah, Canada did I don't know if you guys covered Canada, but Canada did a great job with their twists.
I
Like,
believe
didn't
it.
cover
ate
this
all
season.
ate up all their twists this season.
Did they? I need
believe
to
it.
catch up.
Yeah,
I gotta see
Okay, ready
Kevin.
to watch Canada because
Yeah.
I actually liked the
So-
first two seasons of Canada. They were good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin flopped, but other than that, everything was great. Sorry, Kevin.
Listen, can't be good at everything, Kevin.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kevin.
Did flop.
Tisk.
Listen, if I could be good at one game, I'd rather be good at Big Brother than the Traitors. I think
I
the
agree.
Traitors is a total
Yeah.
crapshoot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Crapshoot.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
So in the first spin, Rob and Mark are the last two left looking. They're like ripping open stuffed animals, looking for bags of money inside of stuffed animals. It's like a carnival game. And Rob and Mark are the last two. And Mark makes it back to the thing, the spinny thing, like a merry-go-round, I guess. And Rob crashes out. Mark makes it for him. Then Rob realizes that there's no seat left for him. And Rob has a true Love Island crash out. If you watched Love Island in Rob's season, Rob had many of these crash outs on the show. This is Rob. This is the true Rob. The Rob that we have been watching on the Traitors is not the Rob I know from Love Island. This is the Rob I know who cried under under the ledge of a pool and was like rolling his eyes and getting mad at people for voting out the girl that he was with. And like, this is the Rob that I was expecting, but everybody clocked it. He was like mad at Mark for only taking $700, but like Mark was like, we didn't like make a plan to only take like large amounts of money. And he's like, I just don't want to get murdered. And he was fully overacting like he was worried about it, but he wanted the shield so he could have full control over who he got to murder that night because there's not that many people left. And Natalie watching him the entire time is like, oh, that's weird. Like, this is overacting. This is different from Rob. What did you think about Rob's gameplay in this moment? First one out.
It's pretty bad. I ain't gonna hold you. And honestly, I think a lot of this cast was onto his scent, and I don't think that this helped. He is not as cool, calm, and collected. Like, he didn't handle diversity the way I expected him to. So if there's any like critiquing with Rob's game once it's all said and done, because we all know he's gonna win at this point. Alan all but leaked it at this point, I feel like. So when he eventually does win, I feel like this will be like, oh, one thing he could have did better at is handling adversity, because this is genuinely the first time that his name has been thrown out, and he folded very quickly. And had it not been for some blunders from other faithfuls, I think he could have been in some deep crap next week when they eventually do the selection for the finale where they have to throw stuff in the fire. That's an easy, like, let's get Rob out because, you know, this is a little suspicious. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, this cast tripped on itself, so he might be fine. But any other season, I think that this is almost like writing his loss check for the finale. Not like, I don't think he's ever going to get banished, but like, this is the thing that would have made me be like, I'm not trying to take Rob to the end. I'm not putting in any green until we get this guy out of here because I don't trust him.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first, to your point, all season that he's had to deal with any adversity, and it did not go well. It did not go well at all. And this is sort of like what I was, when I saw Rob as a traitor, this is like a little bit of what I was expecting from him, just because I did know him from Love Island, but he hasn't had to navigate through any of this stuff. And I feel like we got a little bit of it at the round table too. He did not have a good defense for himself whatsoever. It's so lucky for him. The outcome was what it was, but I think this was a big miss from Rob this whole episode, especially because he knew that Mora already told him that his name was out there. So like, keep it together, take a deep breath. You know, if you were gonna get murdered, you would have been murdered already.
Almost lost Mark as an ally.
Yeah, Mark was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
What are you mad at me for? Yeah.
And he literally just said to him, like, oh, you're the only one I trust. Or like, he had mentioned like, Rob's the only one I trust. And then he's yelling at him. Like, bro, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this?
Yeah, Mark, I don't remember if it was like right at this point or if it was like right before this, but he was basically saying in the confessional to us, like, I know that I'm the odd one out. Like, Kristen was my number one. She's gone. Rob has Mora. Johnny and Tara have each other. He could kind of have Natalie, but like there was heat on Natalie, so he didn't really know Eric, whatever. Nobody's really like considering Eric, I guess, because he's barely existing on the show at this point, which, like, I don't know. Maybe that's the move. Maybe it's the move. I don't really know. Probably not. Doesn't seem like it is. But it's crazy to me that this doesn't fully turn Mark on Rob at this point. Like, you already were just saying that you don't feel like he's with you 100%. He would choose Mora over you. And now he's like just going off on you because you beat him in the game. And that's cool with you?
Yeah.
Make it make sense. I don't understand, Mark.
It's just, again, why I cannot. I need a civilian season of this show, because you can tell at this point they're not casting for proper gameplay. Whereas, for a civilian season, they're looking at different personalities, but also looking for people who want to play the game, right? So then it's just like, why is this move? Why are you not picking up on these things? And it's like, oh, because you were cast because we thought you'd be entertaining, not that you'd actually play the game properly. Like, that's just logical, right?
Right.
just pure logic.
Right.
Yeah, Mark is another one who, this season I've been noticing as the numbers keep dwindling, and as we've discussed, all the like interesting people get out. We've literally got like 2 confessionals from Mark prior to like the past 2 episodes. And now that we've gotten so much Mark, he has also been another very annoying player. Like, these last few people left are getting so much more spotlight because we literally have no one else to talk to. And they are just all insufferable. Like, Mark is another one who's had a few moments where he might have been like, ooh, maybe Rob is a little sus. Or maybe Rob just yelled at me for no reason. Like, maybe I should be looking at him. And then now he's just, it's just, as the numbers get smaller, like, these people get even more annoying because we're only left with people with 2 brain cells. And Mark is another one of them. So it's been very irritating.
The thing that irritates me the most about Mark, I don't know if you guys have seen anything that Mark has posted on social media, but like, he's barely on the show, to your point, Javier, like barely on the show. And him and Kristen both on social media, in comments, in reels, on their TikTok, in interviews, have basically been like, oh, just wait. We're the smartest ones. Just wait. We're the only 2 that had any strategy. I'm like, Kristen, you're out. You got murdered. That meant nothing. And like, Mark is probably going to be the next one murdered. Like, there's no shot. He at the end of the episode, laying on the pool table with Rob, they may as well just like cuddled up and took a nap together. Like, come on, this man is not figuring out anything. Like, it's just, the whole thing is a mess. Like, I don't know why he is trying to make it seem like, oh, the edit just didn't show how smart I was. I'm like, no, I think it's just that you're not smart. That's why they didn't show it, because you're not. There was nothing to show. What are we talking about here? What are we doing? It's a mess. Look it up and get annoyed if you want. I think there's plenty of like people on the internet taking screenshots of how just loud and wrong he is even after the fact when he knows the outcome. I just don't understand. That's basically the only real notable thing from this challenge. There is one point where Natalie is still trying to go all in on the Mora, trying to bring her over to her side, which I'm like, girl, she already told you, like, I would storm out of the castle if Rob was a traitor. Like, there's no way. But she was like helping her pull the money out of the stuffed animal to try and like win her over. And I'm like, you're winning over the wrong person. Like, you got to be trying to pull over someone else. Like, Mora's not jumping. And Eric ends up winning the shield. So the traitors do get full control over who gets murdered. Tara it was Mora at the end with him. I don't remember. It was either Tara. I think it was Mora. It was the 2 of them at the end, and she flopped. Surprise. Are we surprised? No. But after the mission, we do get an interesting conversation in the car again with like Natalie, Johnny, Tara talking about going for Rob. And in this moment, Tara's like, I think we should go for Rob next week. Like, I don't think we should do it this week. And Natalie is a little bit like, she's already all in. Tara dropped the crumbs, and like Natalie's like picking up all the crumbs and like making a loaf of bread out of these breadcrumbs that she's trying to drop here. And she basically is like, no, it has to be this week. Rob has the dagger. Here are the people we need. We need one more vote. We need like this person. I forget if she said Mora or Mark at that point to vote with us. Like, we need these votes. You could tell in this moment, Johnny never confirmed that he was going to vote for Rob. He was a little wishy-washy, to your point, Isaiah, like saying a lot but not saying much all at once. And Tara already kind of said, like, I don't know about this, like maybe next week. I think it's a bad move to go for Rob next week. It doesn't make any sense. Like, this is the last week where we'll find out who the faithful, if that person is a traitor or a faithful at the round table. So you should go for him now, especially if you have the momentum and the evidence. But she did say, I don't know. Like, I don't think so. Meanwhile, Rob is like going all in on the Natalie strategy, trying to get Natalie out, which I don't know. to me, it's not there. I'm not seeing it. She's so obviously faithful at this point, but whatever. What did you guys think about Tara kind of like waffling a little bit at this point? Would you have picked up on it if it was Natalie? If you were Natalie?
When you say waffling, it's so one. I would have if I was Rob, I would have. I don't know if he should have went after Natalie first and foremost, because it's like, all right, after you get Natalie out, it's almost obvious that like people are gonna look at you, right? But you think, but obviously, that's not what happens. Tara, on the other hand, I think that she was right, obviously, but what was she going after? She wanted her, Johnny, Natalie, and who was their fourth target?
Was it Mark at that point?
I think it was Eric for them, but they should have been after Mark instead of Eric. Yeah. They were like, oh, we should try to bring Eric in for the vote. They did try Mora, obviously that flop. Mark, listen, they should have just went after Mark. The shuffling is where you fell off. Obviously, I'll wait till we get more into the roundtable, but there's a plethora of things to blame for the ultimate, direction that I went in.
Yeah, I think Natalie had blinders on at that point, and as soon as she heard Rob, she was like all in on Rob. She was not wavering. She was not going to compromise and say like, nope. She was already like counting the votes. He has the dagger. This is the last week he's going to use it. He's going to use it, which is like, okay, maybe let's hear Tara out. I don't think Tara's obviously a master strategist by any means, but like maybe we should wait until he doesn't have the dagger, because if we need to get all these extra votes for him, if all three of us, you don't know what's going to happen. Everybody could be gone by the next week, right? And Natalie was the only other name out there at that point. So it was not a good move for Natalie to wait until next week. But I do think if the group is read the room, they're not 100% with you, and Rob has an extra vote, like it's not going to go it's not going to go your way. I think everybody's a little scared to put Rob's name out. It's a big swing. And I think as soon as Natalie like got it in her mind after talking to Tara, she was like not wavering from that move. Like there was no getting her off Rob at that point.
I mean, she did make a good point though, where she was like, if someone gets killed, then like we go from maybe having a shot to no shot at all. I mean, they were kind of just trapped at that point. I'm gonna be honest. There was no maneuvering, and maybe that's credit to Rob for like the position he's put himself in. But I mean, I personally would have tried this vote versus next week too, because I honestly, if let's assume Natalie somehow goes home, obviously, and then it's like what, Tara and Johnny, and they kill whoever they're going to kill like they are now, they could throw the thing in the fire, and then Rob can easily be like, oh, Tara and Johnny, like you guys haven't been voted out and you're a duo, what's going on there? Like I don't know, it's just like they're trapped. Like unless you can shake like Mark, realistically there's nothing you can really do. Mara is just like so stuck in her lane. Like Natalie and Tara are like a couple of weeks too late, so I hate to say it, but like it doesn't really matter what they do here, whether they wait a week or not. Like they're doomed regardless.
Yeah, they're kind of cooked no matter what.
Yeah.
Do you guys think they should have tried to get Eric on their side? Do you think it would have been a good move? I think Eric should have flipped.
No, I think Eric's too set being a traitor and working with it. The other thing that makes me mad is the whole like Kristen going, wow, Eric was really quiet. Like, what's going on here? And then her saying, if I'm dead, like, I think she said, if I'm dead.
She did in front of Mark. She said it in front of Mark.
Just like, hello, all these like little drops of things that happen, and people are just like, anyways, moving on. Like, hello. Back to Natalie. What do you mean back to Natalie? Hello, she's dead. What happened here?
Yeah, this cast, none of it makes any sense. Just the logic is not there. I mean, it's hard to even analyze because it's just like, I know we have all the information, we see it, but like Mark, she said it to you and Rob.
To your face.
And then you didn't say anything to Rob about it, even though you two were the only that we saw, which I assume we would have seen it if that happened. Like it's part of the game. So like what, I don't know. You're not going to bring it up? You're not even going to talk about it? You're not going to bring it up?
I agree with you, but I blame Natalie a lot for her going home. Her and Tiffany have both done this thing where like in their defense of like trying to defend themselves, they throw other people under the bus, and then
Yeah.
people are like, "Hold on, I need to
Yeah.
protect myself." And Tara and Natalie completely went off the rails when Natalie like threw her under the bus, and you know,
not necessary.
yeah, and Natalie has a pattern this season of making selfish decisions in front of everybody for some reason. I don't know why she keeps doing that, but she has a reputation this season of just doing selfish stuff. So when someone finally extends you an olive branch and then you throw them under the bus again, you know, it's just like, all right, like, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? You just made Rob's job next week so much easier because now he can just be like, oh, Natalie was a faithful and she said that you were trying to trick her and all this stuff. So, and Johnny's still here too. What's going on with that? Like, the game's over. Like, this is traitor on traitor crime if I've ever seen it.
Yeah, I think the other thing with the Eric situation, right? It's like, okay, the Rob thing is a really big swing. Let's go for the Eric move because Eric's not even a good faithful to begin with because he's quiet as heck and not doing anything. So like, let's play this theory out because this is a possibility after this happened, right? Like, because again, some things are black, some things aren't black and white, but in this case, it was pretty black and white because she only talked to one person about Eric, right? So it's like maybe we save the Rob and we do the Eric, and then we can bring the Rob up again. If it pans out that he's not a traitor, then they've lost one on their side, and then we can continue from there, right? But I don't know. That's just logical, right? Like, I don't know. Like,
it feels logical to me, and it feels like it's almost a little bit of a misplay by Rob, I think, because Mark was in the room with him. It was only them. He was also in the kitchen with Kristen and Eric. Like, Kristen obviously is not there anymore, but like, he was around for those conversations. And then he also didn't bring it up, which a faithful would have brought it up, although Mark didn't either. But like, if Mark is then thinking back of like, oh wait, Kristen was in the room with me and Mark, with me and Rob, and like, he didn't say anything about it. He didn't bring that up, and that was weird. And it feels like, one, probably the wrong kill if you're not going to use it strategically to throw Eric under the bus and like throw him out as bait. Why not? Like, should have killed Natalie instead of using Natalie as bait because she's obviously a faithful. They're going to see that. If you're the one pushing her name, they're going to be like, Rob is pushing another faithful. Like, that's weird. Instead, he should have just like pushed Eric and like Eric is dead weight at this point. He's not contributing a single thing. There's no reason why Rob should be protecting him. And 2 times now, we've seen him sort of protect Eric a little bit, which does not make any sense to me. And I just think like he could have just like cut bait quick, and then they would have been like, oh, we got our male traitor, like, we're probably good. And then that would have like set him up swimmingly to the end. Like, there would have been no suspicion on Rob. Like, to me, this is a little bit of it's a misplay on Mark, it's a misplay on Rob, it's a misplay on all of them. I think Natalie also didn't do a good job here because she should have pivoted a little bit. Like, she should have realized these people were not with her and pivoted elsewhere, but she didn't. Like, she just is too headstrong in these situations. And I totally agree with you, Isaiah. Like, I have a lot of, this is why Natalie has irritated me in this game. And it all came to a head at this round table.
And I was going to say to Mary, because Mary, there's nothing wrong with, see, I agree with you. Playing selfish is correct, right? But I feel like in a situation where you're like, the next round is the round, right? If she survives this round, she's going to just like her throwing Tara under the bus. The one and only person who is really trying to give her a chance out of everyone else in this cast at this point, then like she's cooked next week, right? It's not like a longevity. You're trying to play to win. She didn't need to throw the only other person who was down to like really vote with her publicly like under the bus like that. You know what I'm saying? Because then they just blew everything up. She went from like a small percent chance of like possibly saying to like none, like instantly. Like, that was her and Johnny. She needed those two, and then you needed to just convince Mark. Like, that's what she needed, and she threw all that out the window once her and Tara just got in a huge fight for some dumb reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe if they threw out Eric's name, they could have threw out Eric's name, and then we would have been good. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mark could have. That would have been very interesting, but that wasn't even a possibility because the rest of the talking time was spent fighting with Natalie and fighting with Tara. You know, so that's why I'm saying like selfish, at least in this round, wasn't the the path. You know what I'm saying?
You could be selfish, but you have to be able to adapt. Like, she should have read the room. She's playing as if she's playing with a bunch of other gamers. She should know at that point, Tara and Johnny are not gamers by heart. Tara's been wrong a couple of times. There's been heat. Yesterday, the day before, was a rough day for them. Johnny had heat on him. They don't want to be loud and wrong again. They just came out as best friends. They're not ready to take a big swing. She needs to like marinate them a little bit more to get them ready. They already gave her the idea in the car that they didn't want to go for Rob this week. It's an uphill battle. They did not have the votes. They needed the extra vote, which they didn't have going into the roundtable, to get Rob out in the first place because of the dagger. And it would have just been she should have realized that they were not with her. And instead of like approaching it the way that she did at the roundtable, that just like, I agree with you, Isaiah, burned any goodwill left that anybody had for Natalie. She was already a little bit of a sinking ship. She knew there was heat on her. Like, she needed to just like pivot when she realized that it wasn't there.
I think that I want to say two things. First, just to quickly go back to the Rob should have gone for Eric this turn. I do think that Rob, again, is playing the best game. And I do think Rob is planning to throw Eric out at the final, like throw the bag, the green bag, the red bag. And I think that's what he's saving Eric for. And I think it's going to be a really easy win for him to save Eric for that with like Mark and Mora and like Eric. I foresee that to be the final four. And they're all going to support. He's going to be like, oh my God, it's Eric. They got out their male traitor. So I think that's what Rob is doing. So we'll see. And I think back to Natalie, as we talk more about Natalie's gameplay, it just really reminds me of like how we keep talking about how clearly none of these celebrities watched any season before. Because I think no one who has played this type of game of Natalie, of like this like very defensive game that Natalie has played, they're never a traitor. Like Chanelle was never a traitor. Like if you play this like kind of like scared, selfish game, you're never a traitor, because why would you want to put yourself out there so much? So I think Natalie played terribly when we talk about the roundtable, but I just wish that, again, these house guests would just look a little past that. That type of personality does not win a game like the Traitors. Like, why would you want to make yourself so like make it so hot for you throughout the entire game? And that's kind of something that I wish that I would see also from people who actually watch the show, as these people clearly do not.
I totally agree. I totally agree with you. Yeah, I think that's why if we had like maybe not, I don't know if Tiffany would have landed there, but like if Rob Sesternino was still in the game, like he knows the show and the game so well, like we needed somebody like that to lead these people in a direction of rational thinking. And because we lost them all so early, they're just like all floating in the ether waiting. And like people are looking at Natalie for that in some ways, but like, you know, I see a lot of conversation in the chat too of like Johnny and Tara were also concerned that Natalie's the last gamer and she's probably playing them. And like, to be fair, there was not a gamer that was voted out as a traitor. Everybody probably was thinking like, okay, there were two housewives. One was Donna. Like the last one might be a gamer. She's the only one left. Like, it's not a bad idea to also say like, maybe she's playing us. So she's just trying to get Rob out. Like, I don't know.
I would have thought it was Natalie just because.
Me too. And she's not murdered. She should have been murdered.
Yeah.
And she said it herself. Why am I still here? Like, she said herself. She should have been murdered a long time ago. So, but they did talk a little bit about that before the roundtable, that they were like not 100% in. And then there was also a moment that Rob had with Mora that I want to talk about, because I feel like the editing was a little bit weird. But he said like, okay, we need Natalie tonight. And he's like, and then like Tara and Johnny have to go next. And she was just like, okay. And like, then she had like a look on her face that I was like, oh, do we have hope here? Like, is she turning? Did she think that was suspicious? Absolutely not, because at the round table, she was like throwing her body in front of it, taking the bullet for him, basically. But I thought that was interesting. And like, if it was anybody else, they should have thought that was weird. Like, why are you planning this round, this round, this round when you don't have a shield? You're not safe. You were pretending to be really nervous about it at the game earlier, at the mission. And now you're planning like the next two banishments. And not even being concerned that you're murdered, and you haven't been concerned this whole game that you're going to get murdered. It just seemed a little off to me that Rob like let it out like that.
Yeah, I thought that editing was weird. It made it seem like they were going to give Mora like a moment of like clarity, and it just was like a moment of bum bum bum, like Mora just be more about the whole thing. So very weird editing there.
I wonder if that's going to come back at some point.
She has one episode left.
It's not coming back.
The only thing that's going to come back is her with the confessional. Oh, if I found out Rob was a traitor, then I would storm off the set. I'm waiting on that.
You do your thing, girl.
Yeah, please.
It's
would
giving
love
UK season 2. It's giving Harry and the girl's name I don't remember if anybody watched UK season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know Daryl in the chat says Katie, it's not coming back. I agree. I have hope that someone will grow a brain. And I was excited. I think Rob is by far playing the best game this season and deserves to win alone. I don't think Eric should get a single penny of this money. Rob should take it all. But I do think I was like excited that there was some gameplay happening this episode and like maybe something was going to come for Rob. But as we get to the round table, we realize that actually that's not the case. And everybody is just an extreme flop, including Natalie. I'm including Natalie in that sentiment. Because Natalie lays it all out at the round table. Tara opens the round table and is basically like, I'm not saying anything. What did you guys think about this move from Tara? Just being like, I'm going to say nothing.
Weak. Poor.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I don't want to be canceled by my fellow faithfuls. Like I don't want them to think I'm wrong again. It's like this is the point of the game. You need to throw names out, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, me personally, like she tried. Tara's been very loud and wrong this season, but the one thing I'll say is that she tried this episode versus Johnny, who didn't say anything, and the one person who she trusts that's left in the house has shown time and time again that he will not play the game. So I don't blame her for not wanting to say anything because who is going to take her side at this point? Natalie just destroyed her game, and it's like even if you don't think she's a traitor, Natalie just did all that. Like you got to vote Natalie at this point. You got to vote Tara. I wouldn't want to be in the end with Tara after seeing all that. Like she has to go as collateral damage. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm just, I don't blame her. Like it's annoying, but her allies suck. So whatever, No,
Isaiah. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I think Tara irked the living hell out of me. She did the worst type of gameplay, which is you drop us. Actually, I think Tara did the most traitorous gameplay you could possibly have done. I would have voted Tara out just for the way she played. She dropped the seat of Rob, then she allowed Natalie to like go for that and go hung-ho for it, and then boom, we're at the round table, and then she's like, "Oop, I'm not gonna say anything." How is that not the most traitorous move? Like you're making out Natalie look dumb as hell.
To be fair, Natalie threw her under the bus, and
after
then when
Tara said nothing though.
But then Johnny has been doing this all season.
But
Johnny has been doing this.
We're not talking about Johnny right now.
This. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. And then when it's go time to actually lock in and be like, all right, we need to get back on the same page. Johnny, back me up. Oh, I didn't really agree to anything. I'm sorry. Like at least she's taking a stance, at least in trying, versus Johnny, who's not saying anything. I keep blaming Johnny for everything. Like, I'm sorry.
I say, to be fair, I will play a little bit of devil's advocate for Tara because I feel like she's getting so much heat all over the place. And like, was this smart? No. But she was not all in on this vote. Like we've been saying, like Natalie took it and ran. And she said a couple of times, I'm not 100% in. I don't know. Maybe next week. I don't know. They didn't have the votes. They didn't convince Mark or Mora or Eric to come over. So like, why would she put herself out there, put the evidence at the table? If she's not a gamer and she's not a person who can convince a whole group of people at a table when she's already been wrong a couple of times and people are suspicious of her and Johnny, I don't necessarily blame her for not wanting to like put her neck out there and take a huge swing at someone if she's not 100% convinced and they don't have the votes already at the table. Natalie just took it and just went all in. And then the second that Tara, she was like, I'm feeling snowed by you, Tara. Like you screwed me over and like you totally like fluffed me all day and now you're leaving me to dry. It's like, hold on. She never 100% said she was going to vote for Rob tonight. That was a name. She had evidence, but that doesn't mean she wants to go for it right now. Like, let's look at it and build a story against it and get other people on board. So when we go for it, we can go for it, which is sort of what Johnny did too. I mean, Johnny was less committed, way less committed than Tara was to Rob, and Tara wasn't even 100% in. So like Natalie just took it and she went for it, whether she had people with her or not. So I kind of blame Natalie a little bit more than I blame Tara. I don't think Tara should have started off that way, but I do think Natalie like thought she had a plan, but like no one was aligned with the plan.
Which one of them is who's the person who pitched the plan to Mora?
Natalie.
This is Natalie's fault.
It's Natalie's fault.
I'm sorry. Like, that's why I'm like, Tara, whatever. Like, I get it. She tried at least. Like Natalie sucked. I said this at the beginning. Like Natalie sunk her own ship. She did everything that she shouldn't have done because she was desperate. You know what I'm saying? But also, the people who are supposed to be backing Tara in this were both on some BS. Natalie was just doing whatever, and Johnny, who was talking heavy, didn't say anything. I'm sorry. I'm blaming the two people who did trash this episode. Like Tara did bad, but Johnny and Natalie did 10 times worse. They are backwards traitors to me. Like I don't care for either one of the gameplay. Like Tara's not perfect. She has blame.
No, definitely not.
I blame Natalie and Johnny more than Tara. I'm standing on that.
I don't really blame Johnny that much this episode.
I don't blame
he
Johnny.
wasn't there.
That was my
Natalie.
argument. I don't blame Johnny. I blame Natalie too. Johnny just, if my
Johnny
best friend
doesn't
is now
stand on
backing
anything.
down, but his best friend who was trying to lead the charge is backing down, then if I'm Johnny, I'm also going to be like, oh, she doesn't want to do it.
Well, he was suspicious of Natalie. And he was like, maybe she's playing us.
Yeah.
Johnny backs down when he is committed to a plan. He doesn't say anything. I'm sorry, bro. Like I'm tired of him. That's just me being a hater.
Yeah,
I don't like him.
I think the issue is like the plan was never really solidified, and Natalie was just kind of running around with it. I think if Natalie was smart, she would have chatted more with Tara and Johnny and Mark and been like, I'm telling you, it's not me. Like, maybe we need to pick a man, but like maybe it needs to be maybe we don't do the Rob one this week. Like, it's a big swing going for Rob, right? Because he has no sus on him this entire time.
Right. Huge swing.
Yeah, it's a huge swing. Like, maybe it's not good for this week, and he has the dagger. You don't really want to put sus on him when he could put a double vote on someone else. So it's just like, it could be tied with the amount of people, right? So maybe we just need to put him on someone else too. We get the votes that way, and then we can go for him next week. But like, it's just like the strategy went out the window. It's just pure panic at that point.
She just went 100% full throttle for Rob when like she had nobody with her. So to me, it's all on Natalie.
Let's keep it 100. There was no way, in any way, shape, or form, that Natalie had any chance of surviving this episode.
No.
The writing was already on the wall, and this whole episode was just us looking at Natalie grasping at straws. We all knew that the dagger, this was the last round to be used. We already know Mora, Eric, and Rob are already locked in, and Mark doesn't have anyone else, so he was going to vote with Rob. There was no navigating. Like, they try to make it interesting with like the Rob yelling at Mark and like Natalie zipping and running, but like, this was all a waste of time. Like, we knew what was going to happen before the episode even started. I'm sorry. We can keep talking about like these if, ands, or buts, but there is no chance that she could have survived, even if she did get the votes, because he had a dagger and he had Mora and he had Eric.
Forced a tie if they got.
Is that
Mark.
a tie?
Well, they would have had a tie if they had
Eric,
4 votes.
Rob, Mora, extra vote. Natalie, Tara. Okay, maybe.
So they could have forced a tie, and then Rob and whoever.
So what would have happened
with Natalie? I don't think they get to vote, and then they do a revote, right?
Yeah, they do. Yep, that's what happened the one time.
So then the dagger would have been
canceled out.
And then maybe Eric could have seen. I mean, again, I don't have a lot of faith in Eric's brain power either, but like maybe he could have been like, "This is an opportunity, and I could flip or something." Like, but the dagger would have been out, and they would have had Mark. If Mark flipped, it was all dependent on bringing over the right person. It would have been Mark, Tara, and Johnny. That would have been 3 against the 2 on the other side, and Rob would have gone. Obviously, they're not forcing a tie. No one's doing that. But Natalie, instead of like trying to get other people on her side, just like decided to just go at Tara, which I'm like, what is this doing for you? This is doing literally nothing for you other than like hammering the final nail into your coffin. Like, this is not getting anyone's like sus off of you and onto Tara. It's just like making you look like a little bit of a sore loser, and you're just taking a shot in the dark, and like everybody left you hanging, and doesn't really make you look like a team player, even though like it's not a team game, but you do need people to come along with you for the votes and make a plan. And like,
if I'm Natalie, I would have pulled a page out of Ron's book, and I would have gone around doing my final goodbyes and telling everybody how much I like them, and then they would have been like, she's not a traitor. Like that's literally what it would have happened. Like, outside of that, she was cooked. Like,
she should have just kept going in on Rob and just been like, listen, I get you guys are all snowed on, like with Rob snowing you all. I know you're probably going to vote for me tonight. You're making a huge mistake. Tara, fine, you're not committed. Johnny, fine, you're not committed. But I'm telling you, I'm faithful.
Eric.
And here's why Rob is not. Here's all the evidence that's laid out in front of you. I know you all want to say it was a throwaway vote, but like even Mora defending Rob at the round table about the throwaway vote, it was not one throwaway vote. It was a throwaway vote, and then it was completely throwing Rob under the bus with a no. She was leaving, clearly putting on the table, here is the other traitor that's coming for me, and I want you to get him out next. They did not pick up on it. But then Rob's defense was just like, yeah, I don't know, it was weird. I'm like, what is this defense? Like, what is this? You knew all day that they were going to put your name out, and that's all you could say is, yeah, Candace voting for me was weird.
I would have just said, yo, Eric's not talking. How do you feel, Eric?
Yeah, what do you think, Eric? Eric, what's your thought?
What do you think, Eric? You're not talking.
It would have been amazing TV, actually.
Like, I don't think I've heard him say a single word in like 3
since
episodes.
he became a traitor.
No.
Yeah,
Literally,
yeah.
has not spoken at around.
He's just like, oh my god, oh shit, oh my god, oh my god, this is so stressful.
I was like, oh, I forgot about Eric.
Yes,
Oh,
it's
Because you guys know that if there's one traitor, you already caught 2. If you watch the show, that someone's going to get recruited. No, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, insanity. Whatever.
Yeah,
I don't even know what else we're talking about at this point.
yeah, it's just. I mean, this whole thing was rough. So yeah, I mean, and then everybody's going to Tara. They don't let her say a word. She's just like, blah, 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 blah. She's trying to talk. Natalie's talking over her. Then Mora starts talking, and it's like, Mora, why are you even talking? Why are you talking? There's no reason for you to be talking. Just stop. Just stop talking. Just stop talking. And then, of course, Natalie gets voted out. Rob doesn't even get a single vote. Uses the dagger, but it's the last week that he can use the dagger anyway. No vote for Rob. Natalie switches her vote to Tara. Fine, whatever. I still think this was the misplay. Like, you can always go, if you go out, you could go at Tara at the end when you're standing up there and been like, listen, I'm a faithful, but Tara did all this, and this, and I don't know, it's suspicious. She was on it, and then she flipped, whatever. But she didn't. She did say to Johnny, which Daryl just said also in the chat, like, Johnny, don't say you're sorry. Don't fucking say you're sorry when you turn the vote over. Which, fine. Yeah, I mean, whatever. She did say, like, in the after show or whatever it is with Boston Rob and Bob the Drag Queen, that she's like, every week Johnny says he's sorry, which I'm like, I mean, maybe he is. I don't know. He clearly doesn't know what the fuck's going on in this game. So, like, maybe he's sorry. He's just like, sorry, I voted wrong again. Like, I don't know. But sorry, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, sorry. I have no clue why I'm even on the show. I'm sorry.
Be better, Johnny.
Yeah,
that's what he needs to do. I kind of agree with Natalie. I really hate when people say that. Like, you just voted me. You don't have to vote me out. You had 7 other options. Don't say sorry. So,
well, especially this week, he could have voted Rob and he didn't. So I wouldn't want to hear it from him or Tara either. So. Goodbye, Natalie. Rest in peace. You tried. You probably tried a little too hard too soon. But feels like Rob has got a wide open field. He's like running right to the end zone, and he's like, no one's catching him. He's just like a million yards ahead of these people. And I don't really see a world in which he gets voted. I mean, the biggest issue for me with Rob not going this week, I would like Rob to win the game, but I think if I'm a faithful, it's that even if you vote him out, you don't know one way or another if he was a traitor. So it's almost like you vote him out, but there's no real reason to do it because you're not going to get validation one way or another. And they're also against voting for him anyway, that like they should have only done it if they were going to find out if he was a traitor or not, because they're so unsure. So I just don't see it happening at the next roundtable. I think it's Eric's time to go next week. Eric's already got some heat.
Eric's done.
I think he's done.
I really
Mark's saying his name. Johnny's saying his name. Even Rob in the turret was like, bro, you didn't say a word. You have to say something at the roundtable. You have
Are y'all ready for this prediction for the next episode?
Yeah, I want to ask you
off
guys
Mark.
What's going to happen. Yeah.
They kill off Mark.
Let's all predict. Go.
I think so.
Listen, they're going to kill off Mark.
Okay.
And then it's going to be Mora, Rob, and Eric as the final 3. They're going to vote off Tara first, and they're going to vote out Johnny. And then they're going to try to end the game, and Mora's going to look like the dumbest fool ever. She's going to storm off while Eric and Rob are there together. Because Mark is the only person with enough balls to call out Eric, and Tara and Johnny ain't going to do it because they don't think he's a traitor. So I'm telling you, that's what's happening. And you're going to come back to this podcast and be like, Isaiah was right. I'm gonna clip it.
Well, I think if we're all predicting, I do think Mark is going to be the next murder.
Yeah.
I think
I
Eric
agree.
might be the next one banished. I think
Eric's out of here.
I think Rob can frame
I
it,
don't think he wants to cook him though.
but I don't see why not. I think at this point, it's the last one. He's at. Well, the thing is, they don't find out. That is what changes everything because they won't find out that it's Eric. Because if they found out that he's the traitor, then Rob could easily be like, "Oh, we got them all." It's
I
the
feel like
last
Rob
roundtable. We got the
wants
last
to be
one.
loyal to Eric though.
But why
Like,
though? But why though?
you saw how protective he was when Mark was starting to throw his name. Oh, but I don't think it's
Pisses
Eric,
me
man.
off.
Like,
He's my
I'm telling
boy,
you.
he said.
I'm
Like,
telling you, watch. I think he would have been
Couldn't have
loyal
done
to
that for
Candace
Lisa or
too if she
Candace.
didn't do what she did. I'm telling you. I think he wanted to work with Candace too until, you know.
Mhm.
He threw her under the bus. He came for her.
They both were being shady. But
Fine,
regardless, I don't think he's taking watch. I'm telling you, he's not going to take Eric out.
I don't think it's up to him at that point. He's outnumbered. So
is Mora going to do it?
No, but there's still three
That's
people
three.
who could vote for him, right? Oh,
It's going to be
true.
Eric,
Three.
Rob, and Mora. Mora is going to
Yeah.
have all the power, and you know where she's going.
I don't know. Mora's not like.
Like what? Chanelle, please. What? Mora's what? Who is Mora? Chanelle, put us on.
Is a person, but
She exists.
there's a brain, but the use of it is questionable.
That would be crazy. That would be crazy, Mary. If I could.
I think it has to happen. Like,
I
there's
agree
no
with
way that Rob is going to split this money with Eric. He has done
No.
nothing, and Rob has had to, instead of like be able to work with someone, he's just like managing Eric and trying to like say like, you got to do something because you're so super suspicious. Since day one, the first day he became a traitor, he already had heat on him. Now day two, he didn't say anything at the round table, and Rob has to try and protect him. Why would he want to split money with someone like that? He hasn't done anything to earn the money.
Bro. That would be sick. You would cry. I think
Good.
Eric would cry.
Good.
I want Eric and
As he
Mora to
should.
cry. Both
Me
of
too.
them.
I want that. I want everyone.
Are you
who-
angry with the magical ears? You don't like the magical ears he has?
Listen, if Suri sat in a confessional to us and said Ari hasn't been there since day one, he hasn't had to build relationships with these people and turn against them, he hasn't done anything to earn this money, and I have done more and I deserve this money, Rob should feel the exact same way and vote
Rob
his
is
ass
not
out at the
Suri.
fire. No, he's not. Yeah, as much as people on the internet want to say that he's the new Suri Fields, he is certainly not. He's certainly not. But hopefully he does the same thing because Eric does not deserve a penny of that money.
Agreed. I
I
think
don't know.
I don't know. My prediction is we lose Mark, and then we banish Tara or Johnny, and then we get to the pit, and I think the final three is going to be Rob, Mora, and Eric, and then Rob is going to win the game. That's what I'm calling it too.
Yeah, I think I see that too. I don't see Johnny or Tara getting murdered tonight because if they're going to frame it on Johnny,
Correct. Yep.
they need Tara to be safe because Johnny would never murder Tara. That's obvious. So I think Mark is the only one with like a little bit of a brain, kind of. I mean, I don't know. He's laying on that pool table with Rob. I'm like, dude, what are you not picking up here? What are you not picking up? But I think it's the best move for them both to murder Mark, especially because Mark had suspicion on Eric. I think that would also keep the suspicion on Eric and off of Rob. So that would be beneficial for him to get rid of Mark, at least like, and have the Eric vote as a Hail Mary if he needs it, because there's already some suspicion on him. And then I think Johnny probably goes at the round table. Tara gets voted out at the fire, and then TBD if they vote again or if they end the game. I don't know. But I think you guys are right. It's going to be Eric and Mora and Rob at the final three.
Yeah, Mora was already talking about, oh, why would Tara do that? Like,
right. I know. What a mess. Mora seems to think she's going to get murdered tonight. And Rob did say, like, she would never suspect me. No one would ever suspect me. I think this would be such a bad move for Rob if he kills Mora.
Bad move.
Such a bad move. Built in number one, never going to put suspicion on you.
There's no way they're doing that. But I think you guys are giving him so much credit. I don't think he's killing Eric at all. Like, I just don't see it in him. But I would love to see it if he does it. Like, he will get so much more respect from me if he does it. I just don't see him doing it.
I could go either way. 50-50 on it if he does it or not. If they're there together, I could see it going either way.
What's your prediction, Chanelle?
I think Mark dies. And yeah, I think they're going to kill off Mark because he's kind of useless. Yeah, I think they kill Mark. And then I think at the round table, they vote out Eric, or banish Eric, and then
for Rob.
yeah, I think it's gonna be Rob, Tara, Johnny, and Mora at the fire. That's my guess.
And they're gonna vote to end the game?
Huh?
And they're gonna vote to end the game, those 4?
No, definitely not. I think that Mora and Rob will like vote out like Tara. And then I think they'll vote out Tara, and then they'll vote out Johnny, and then it will just be Rob and Mora.
I would be very interested if Eric goes out and it's the 4 of them left. Tara and Johnny are not going to end the game with Rob because we already know they would be crazy. Yeah, no. I mean, you never know. You really never know with these people, but they would be crazy. The 2 of them vote out Rob, hypothetically. Mora and Rob need to align on voting out Johnny or Tara beforehand, I would guess, but that would be a tie. So what happens at the fire if there's a tie? Do we know? Nothing. Have we seen it?
Alan Cummings gets all the money.
I guess there was a tie when it was CT, MJ, and Trishelle because they had to vote again.
Oh yeah, that's
and Trishelle flipped and voted out MJ.
Yeah.
So I guess they would just vote again. I don't know. It would be crazy to me if Rob. The more we talk about it, it would be crazy to me if Rob went to the final fire, like the fire with Johnny and Tara intact.
I don't think that's a good game move at all.
He needs Johnny to go at the round table tomorrow, the next round table.
One of them he has to break up the Skater twins.
Gotta break up the Skater twins. Could be interesting, but murdering them would be a bad move because he needs the heat.
Yeah.
So it's a little risky, actually.
Who knows?
The move would have been Johnny this night at the round table, not Natalie. They should have murdered Natalie.
Listen, they're not going to do anything. Listen, why are we talking like these people know what they're doing?
Yeah,
this game is over.
I'm just thinking about Rob. Like, I think it actually going for Natalie was a really bad move. He should have gone for Johnny.
Don't stress yourself out. These people suck. I'm telling you, we already know Rob's going to win. It's either if Rob's winning with Eric or not. Like, we have nothing else to talk about.
Listen, that's why you have a podcast, Isaiah, to talk.
I know.
That's
I'm just like, I'm giving myself a headache. I was like trying to think about it. I'm like, why am I thinking about this? It's over.
It is
real
over.
Quick. I just wanted to give a quick update, and then I'm done with this because like, what else are we talking about? This is the update from our draft, by the way.
Don't put it up. Take it down.
I will. Javier is cooked. She's out of here. Julia has Mora and Tara. I have Eric. Katie, you have.
I have the winner.
Rob. So you basically either won or half won. And Lance has Johnny and Mark.
Listen, if Mark comes through like he's talking on social media, Javier, oh no, that's not you, that's Lance. Damn. No. Sorry, you're done. Yeah,
I'm cooked.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah. Well,
tears.
Well, thank you for the congratulations in the chat. We'll see what happens. But all right, well, Isaiah already said he's not the host of this podcast, but he said he's done, so I guess we're done. So, Isaiah, where can we find you these days on the internet?
Not getting eliminated in the Traitors Tower, but you can find me on everything at 8Ball Bangers. I'm covering this for the last time next week. I'm so excited to be done with the Traitor season 4, but I'm not excited to be done with this. But I'm covering Fear Factor House of Fear with Ganjo Cheyenne on Mondays. There was no episode this week, so not this week, but next week. And I have a lot of fun podcasts planned. I'm doing off-season content for Big Brother again starting next week, some total drama stuff, just a bunch of fun ranking podcasts. So I'm excited to get back to that. Bring It Steel with Lavina, I believe. We're going to do a whole bunch of stuff, so check that out.
Very nice. Javier, where are you these days?
Well, everyone, you can find me at _thestarboy on Twitter. I'll be sharing my thoughts there as we come to the close of this kind of womp season. But, shout out to Rob. Hopefully he wins.
Chanelle, what are you up to these days?
I'm taking a little break from socials and work, just taking care of my baby, but I'll be back. Yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back in the summer. Probably June, July, August. Probably streaming on TikTok and stuff lightly here and there, doing some co-working streams and just chilling a bit. But so Coder Girl Chan on everything else. But yeah, I'll be taking a break until the summer. So you'll probably see me maybe pop in a podcast here or there.
Well, thank you so much for being here with us, especially during your hiatus. And congratulations to you. And we'll keep an eye out for the summer. Chanelle is great, so follow her on everything. She's a really great streamer. And you can find me on Blue Sky, realsimkatie.bluesky.social. I may or may not pop into some of the work Isaiah is doing for the off-season Big Brother stuff. And then you can catch us here next week for the last episode. Keep an eye out, follow us everywhere you can. Slime Podcast, just search us, we're everywhere. So just drop a follow or subscribe, and make sure you leave us a review if you liked what you heard, but only if you like what you heard. Don't save it, because you can only get to do it once. And then catch us next week or this week, next week. I don't know. I guess technically it's Sunday, so it's technically this week, for the finale. Finale's on Thursday. I think we get the finale and the reunion. I'm excited to watch Colton get cooked. I hope they show it. Lisa's been all over the place at our book tour, even talking about Colton, talking about the stalking. So
show any of it.
If it will be a tragedy if they don't, because Lisa's already been talking all about it. So we all know it happened. Everybody's confirmed that it happened. So I hope that they show it. But we will see. She said she kept it all to game, not stalking. She specifically said, I saw a clip of her at a book tour saying she didn't talk about the stalking. So we'll see. Well, I'm sure it'll be a flop just like the season. So definitely bottom tier. Isaiah, we should do a ranking of the Traitors.
I'm down. Like I would really be down for that.
I think we have enough. Let's do it.
I'm here.
Don't steal our idea, anybody. We're gonna do that. Let's do it.
I'm down.
All right, we'll plan that. So keep an eye out for that too. Thank you guys. Appreciate it, and we'll see you for the finale. Good night, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everyone.